Hey guys, it's June 15th, 2019, and I'm back once again to talk sports. I know it's been a while, and I've been really busy lately with Clippers baseball and my new job. I work for minor construction. I don't want to talk about my job though, because I want to get back to doing what I love, talking sports. Okay, to start out today's show, I want to give you some breaking news. The show starts right now. Well, breaking news everyone, you may all know Anthony Davis has been traded to the Lakers for Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart, and 3 first-round picks, including the 4th overall pick in the 2019 NBA Draft. Well, I think this is a great trade for both teams because the Lakers are going to get a superstar that could eventually help them win an NBA title. But for the Pelicans, they get 3 really great players and a bunch of draft picks that are totally going to be able to rebuild their team and make them good. The Pelicans are going to pick Zion. So Zion and Lonzo are going to be a great combination together, and they will score a bunch of points. The New York Times also reported that the Lakers will now target Kemba Walker after reaching an agreement for Davis. They also reported that the Boston Celtics refused to include Jason Tatum in the trade talks centered around Anthony Davis. LeVar Ball on Lakers trading Lonzo. I guarantee it'll be the worst move that the Lakers ever did in their life, and they'll never win another championship. This is LeVar Ball. He can never stop talking. He gets more fame than any of his kids. The media focuses on him because they like getting reactions for LeVar Ball. I don't think his kids even like him with all this fame. Breaking news, Edwin Encarnacion has been traded to the Yankees from the Mariners. He leads the AL with 21 home runs. Edwin Encarnacion is still owed more than $15 million in salary and buyout. Sources say he's the Yankees and the Mariners essentially splitting the money. Seattle paid more to get the better prospect, pitcher Juan, then who should move into the 15 to 20 range on the Seattle top prospect list. The Mariners will reportedly receive pitching prospect Juan. Edwin Encarnacion entered Saturday with a .241 batting average, but adds a .356 on-base percentage and a .531 slugging percentage. The 36-year-old was in his first year at the Mariners after coming over in the offseason trade from the Cleveland Indians. While he's done his job at the plate, the rest of the team hasn't picked up the rest of the slack and is just 30-43 on the year. After Seattle traded away Jay Bruce earlier this month, another powering hitter acquired in the offseason, and Edwin Encarnacion was apparently next to go in what has become a full-blown rebuild for the AL West squad. Meanwhile, the Yankees add another big bat to the lineup as the squad tries to keep pace with the Tampa Bay Rays in the AL East. Sluggers Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton have missed nearly the entire year with injuries, but both of them are close to return and could help transform the lineup going forward, along with Encarnacion. The newest addition will likely to play mostly DH, with Luke Voigt performing well at first. New York entered the day 7th in the majors in home runs, but the squad will likely shoot up the list over the next few months. Texans end pursuit of Nick Carsio for the GM job. Patriots are going to drop the tampering charges, according to multiple sources. NFL hands down 2019 suspension on Rico Gathers following arrest of marijuana possession. Jalen Ramsey deserves a new deal, but today's NFL will likely keep him waiting. The Jaguars. Jalen Ramsey is one of the most gifted defensive players in the NFL. He's smart, fast, and powerful. When Ramsey is at his best, he can disprove any entire passing game. He's the type of player every team in the league would want. Yet Ramsey's like the most players in the league is finding out how little true power he has of the field. Despite being named 2 Pro Bowls and earning first-team All-Pro honors in the second season, Ramsey told reporters this week that the Jaguars informed him he would not be getting another offer for a new deal this year. Broncos owner Pat Bowlen dies at age 75 after struggle with Alzheimer's disease. Bowlen bought the Broncos in 1984 and helped take the organization to new heights. Denver had made the playoffs just 4 times in 24-year history prior to Bowlen's tenure, reaching the Super Bowl once. It proceeded to earn 18 postseason berths, 13 division titles, 7 Super Bowl appearances, and 3 Lombardi trophies in Bowlen's 35 years as an owner. Rofi Ferreira Cruz says from jail cell that David Ortiz was not meant to shot. That makes no sense. He was shot on purpose for sure. Yankees Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton to play in AAA rehab assignment. They're close to returning. Blue Jays third baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hand injury diagnosed as contusion. Toronto Blue Jays rookie third baseman left Friday's game against the Houston Astros after getting hit in the hand by a pitch. Guerrero was hit by a pitch by Garrett Cole in the top of the first inning and remained in the game defensively in the bottom of the first before getting replaced by Eric Sogard in the bottom of the second. The Blue Jays announced the x-rays were negative and Guerrero was diagnosed with a left-hand contusion. After Friday's contest, Vlad was hitting .268 with 7 home runs, 19 RBIs in 39 games this season. The 20-year-old Baseball Hall of Famer Vladimir Guerrero began the season on the injured list with a oblique strain, but after recovering and seeing some action in AAA, he was called up in late April. I'll be right back.
Be sure to catch Ty Battens podcast Tuesdays and Fridays and Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. You can listen on the show on Spotify, Google Podcasts, RadioPublic.com, and Breaker Podcasts.
Hey guys, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or a computer. On Anchor, creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great just like what my podcasts sound like. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard anywhere on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm to get started today.
"2019 Google MLB All-Star Ballot brings a major change to selection systems for the All-Star Game starters. Vote now for the 2019 MLB All-Stars. Visit MLB.com and the 30 club sites to submit your choices. Or visit www.mlb.com/all-star/ballot/review to vote for your All-Stars for the 2019 MLB All-Star Game. That's www.mlb.com/all-star/ballot/review. Go vote, folks. You can change an MLB player's life. If you want to listen to my podcasts all the time, go to Spotify or my website at tybat.simple.com. That's tybat.simple without an e.com. tybat.simple.com. Also, go like and subscribe and follow my buddy at Outdoor Nation TV on his Insta and YouTube. To finish with today's show, I want to talk about the best player every NBA team could add in free agency. We already know where Anthony Davis is going, so let's skip that part, but here we go. Cleveland Cavaliers, Jeremy Lamb, shooting guard, he's age 27. The Cavs should go all in on Jeremy Lamb this summer. Cleveland is still a year away from potentially signing an impactful free agent. It can dump over $88 million worth of expiring contracts next summer. For now, $9 million mid-level expansion is the best for the Cavs can do, although even offering the pushes of a 19-win roster over $140 million in total salary. Cleveland would have to dump one of the expiring contract onto the team with a cap space and waive J.R. Smith just to stay under the luxury tax line. If that's the path the Cavs take, Lamb makes sense as a potential starting shooting guard, given his average career-high 15.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, 1.1 steals for the Charlotte Hornets last season. Lamb was the team's second leading scorer behind Kemba Walker, and the Hornets were 4.6 points per 100 possessions better with him on the floor. Houston Rockets, Danny Green, shooting guard, age 31. With $125 million already committed to next year, the Rockets will be limited to mid-level and veteran minimum contracts. The best thing they can do is to target athletic two-way wings who can space the floor and don't need the ball in their hands. If he's willing to take a slight pay cut, Danny Green could fill that role. Playing beside Kawhi Leonard and Kyle Lowry, Green drilled 47.4% of his catch-and-shoot threes in the regular season, a number that could actually increase if he shares the court with James Harden and Chris Paul. Green has 2 years of experience facing the Golden State Warriors, while the member of the San Antonio Spurs is now the Toronto Raptors. He could be the best Houston could get in free agency. Miami Heat, Jeff Green, point forward, age 32. Any dreams that Miami could have cap space are quickly disappearing. Green tragic exercising his $19.2 million play option for the 2019-20 season. Hassan Whiteside has his own option for $27.1 million that he'll almost certainly accept as well. Even offering a mid-level expansion seems unlikely, as the Heat would be pushing $150 million in the team's salary before factoring in luxury taxes. Miami finished 39-43 last season and needs to shed as much salary as possible. This means all incoming players will likely be on a minimum deals. Jeff Green's last two contracts with the Cleveland Cavaliers and Washington Wizards were one-year yet minimums. In both seasons, he's responsible for at least 10.8 points per game and a positive on and off rating, which is about all the team can ask at this price. While financially breathing room will come in 2020, don't expect any big names to sign in the South Beach this summer. Oklahoma City Thunder, Seth Curry, shooting guard, 28. Let's put this away. The Thunders wish they were in good of financial position, as the Heat is that bad. Oklahoma City needs a shooting, and it needs it all at discount. Enter Seth Curry, who wrapped up a solid season in Portland that saw him average 7.9 points in 18.9 minutes off the bench while connecting 45% of his 3 points. After years of bouncing around the NBA and G League, Curry has proved himself worthy of being a rotation player that could fit nicely between Russell Westbrook and Paul George for spurts. Portland Trailblazers, Al-Frank Amino, point forward, age 28. Already over the salary cap, Portland should seemingly attempt to bring back on its own. Al-Frank Amino had the higher on-off rating than C.J. McCollum, plus 10 points per 100 possessions, plus 6.3, and is usually called up upon to defend the opponent's best offensive forward. He won't get any headlines of Damian Lillard or McCollum, but the Blazers can afford to lose Amino's defense, rebounding, and switchability. Rodney Hood, Enes Kanter, and Seth Curry also enter free agency, but Amino is the best of the group and should be the Blazers' top off-season priority. Denver Nuggets, Trevor Ariza, shooting forward, age 33. Assuming the Nuggets pick up their $30.2 million team option on the power forward, Paul Millsap, the small forward position, will continue to be weak on the rising Denver squad. At this point in his career, Trevor Ariza should be interested in joining the serious contenders with continued growth from Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Gary Harris. The Nuggets should be in a mix of the 2020 finals. Ariza has 102 playoff games under his belt. Bringing in a productive veteran wing like him is the best Denver can hope for free agency. Detroit Pistons, J.J. Redick, shooting guard, age 34. It's no secret the Pistons need help on the wing. While J.J. Redick may not be the middle-level expectation money years old yet, he might have to take a pay cut from his $12.3 million salary as big names flood the market. Pistons can't throw their $9 million expectation at him fast enough. Although the three-point average has gone down each of the past 3 years, Redick still put up a career-high 18.1 points per game for the Philadelphia 76ers last season. His addition would open up the floor as a team. They shot just 34.8% from deep, the worst mark of any team that reached the postseason and 23rd overall. Memphis Grizzlies, DeMarcus Cousins. Center, age 28. With Marcus Gasol gone and Jonas Valanciunas reportedly choosing not to exercise his $17.6 million player option, the Grizzlies are in need of a center. While a rebuild seemed inevitable after the trade of Gasol, who says his team has to be bad, Mike Conley is coming off a career high, scoring 21.1 points. Avery Bradley's put up 16.1 points and 4 assists following a mid-season trade, and Jaren Jackson Jr. is already very good. And Jay Morant seems destined to become a Grizzly next week. DeMarcus Cousins' next contract is in anyone's guess, as he's going from a nearly unpayable in the NBA Finals to a triple-double threat on a night-to-night basis, signing another 1 year to increase his value and hit the market next summer may be his only option if the big offers don't come. Memphis now has the minute and touches available and for him to return to pre-injury to fill the box score once again. Minnesota Timberwolves, Marcus Morris. The Wolves need someone with little toughness and grit, someone who can grab the end of the rotation guys and challenge the starters to the ultra-competitive games and practice while pushing Karl Anthony Towns. Wait, okay, maybe someone at about 50% of Jimmy Butler. Marcus Morris brings the spirit and energy that the young teams need, and when they're looking to take the next step towards competitiveness with Ty J. Gibson headed into free agency, the Wolves have an open at point forward where Morris averaged 13.9 points, grabbed 6.1 rebounds, and shot 37.5% from the three for the Boston Celtics last season. Washington Wizards, Ricky Rubio. If Washington does not hang on Bradley Beal this offseason, they try to make a playoff run, it'll need a point guard with John Wall rehabs from ruptured Achilles tendon. Since the Wizards can't afford Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, or D'Angelo Russell, or Ricky Rubio would be the fine rental for a year. Putting up 12.7 points, 6.1 assists, 1.3 steals from Utah Jazz last season, Rubio is used to sharing a backcourt with a ball-dominant shooting guard and could thrive playing alongside Beal. Can't afford to lose our own stars is next. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a break. You will listen to Ty Battens Podcast.
We will be right back. You will listen to Ty Battens Podcast on Ty Battens Radio.
Okay, I'm back, and I want to talk can't afford to lose your own stars. Boston Celtics Kyrie Irving. With some Celtics fans may ready to move from Kyrie Irving after just 2 seasons, it would be a mistake to let the 6-time All-Star point guard, who won't turn 28 until March, walk for nothing. Boston won't have a significant cap space to sign the replacement of Irving unless Al Horford decides not to opt out his $30.1 million player option. That seems unlikely. The Celtics seem to be so hell-bent on re-signing Irving, but they're still pursuing a trade for Anthony Davis to help convince him to stay, which they will not be going for Davis anymore. While the past 2 years haven't been the most avenged when Boston traded for Irving in 2017, he's still been far the best free agent the Celtics can sign. Charlotte Hornets Kemba Walker. We all may know Kemba Walker is being talked about going to the Lakers, but he has stated he'll take less than $221 million super tax deal the Hornets can offer. If it means being able to add more talent around him, such as a move, wouldn't make much sense. Charlotte has a little cap space. Even if Walker leaves with a smaller annual salary, could start paying defense for the team in 2020. Players like Nicholas Batum, Cody Zeller won't see their big deals come off the books for another 2 years. The Hornets shouldn't be crazy about giving Walker an average of $44 million a year. He turns 34, but another option could be they have, with no cap space, to sign a replacement anywhere close to Walker's talent level. They shouldn't offer whatever their franchise star wants and hope he really will take less than the Supermax. Golden State Warriors, Klay Thompson. With Kevin Durant sidelined for almost all of next year, the Warriors must important free agent to keep. The dynasty alive is Klay Thompson, who himself could miss most of the next season with a torn ACL. This should be a brief conversation. You want to be here, Klay. You good with a 5-year, $190 million max. Cool. Here's a pen. While Draymond Green may attempt to call Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Michael Jordan from the parking lot, the Warriors' focus should be on giving Thompson whatever he wants to stay. Orlando Magic, Nikola Vucevic. Orlando doesn't have enough cap space to sign many max free agents. Although it can pay Nikola Vucevic like one, he should agree to come back. Vucevic is the best player on the team that surprisingly made the playoffs. All momentum generally by Orlando would take a huge setback if they lose him. While a max contract may be a little aggressive, the Magic still need to make a generous multi-year offer to keep the All-Star center in the house. Toronto Raptors, Kawhi Leonard. Think trading for a rental is worth it now? The only player who wins finals MVP awards in both conferences, Kawhi Leonard, can sign a 5-year, $190 million max deal to return to the NBA champion Raptors if he'd like. What a better pitch for Toronto to bring in a shiny gold trophy to the contract talks. What's more than the Raptors won Game 6 with 3 teammates either outscoring Leonard or matching him in points. While he's the star of the team, he doesn't have to carry it. With Durant out for at least a year, Leonard is the best free agent in basketball. I want to talk big pockets, small pockets. Atlanta Hawks, Julius Randle. The Hawks wisely sacrificed cap spaces this summer to pick up a pair of first-round picks in the reported Allen Crabbe trade. They are indeed setting themselves to the big spenders in the 2020 season. Until then, Atlanta should target young, high-upside starters who can grow with Trae Young, John Collins' core. Julius Randle's coming off a career-high 21.4 points per game with the New Orleans Pelicans. For the criteria, he started 49 of his 73 games in New Orleans, also collecting 8.7 rebounds, dashing 3 assists, and showing off an improved outside shot 34.4% on 2.7 attempts per night. Milwaukee Bucks, Chris Middleton. A first-time All-Star in 2019, Chris Middleton should be the mix for max contract from a handful of teams. Milwaukee may force to give him more of another big-time free agents if no other big-time free agents want to come to Wisconsin. Sure, the Bucks can make phone calls to Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler, since they all have close to max cap space, but they seem far more likely to just re-up with Middleton. Sporting a sparking career on and off rating of plus 7.6 points per 100 possessions, Middleton makes those around him better. Milwaukee needs to make sure he doesn't get away. New Orleans Pelicans, DeAndre Jordan. While the Pelicans are projected to have the fair share of cap space, the roster and overall direction could look quite different any day now. Zion Williams will be the Pelican by Thursday. Will Anthony Davis? We already know he will not, because he went to the Lakers. If New Orleans wants to remain competitive and trade Davis for pieces that can win now, grabbing a veteran like DeAndre Jordan makes sense. The biggest free agents will probably shy away from last year to see how the dust settles after Davis is gone. Jordan would keep Williamson from having to guard opposing centers, and his gravitational pull toward the rim would give Jrue Holiday one hell of a pair of lob targets. San Antonio Spurs DeMarcus Cousins. While signing a center like Brook Lopez, would it be safe to say that Spurs should roll the dice on DeMarcus Cousins? If they want to sniff another championship under Greg Popovich, if San Antonio takes the plunge, it would be have Cousins and a healthy Murray, potentially making one of the West team's top teams again with LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, and Derek White. A full season of Cousins may force Popovich into retirement or get him to re-sign for another 5 years. Either way, it would be a fun experiment to watch. Utah Jazz, Tobias Harris. The Jazz should try to have some of the top point guards on the market, with Ricky Rubio likely to leave after striking out there. Tobias Harris will be the best fantastic free agency plan B, putting up 20 points, 7.9 rebounds, 2.8 assists while playing in 82 games for the Los Angeles Clippers and the Philadelphia 76ers last season. Harris can be a bigger role with the Jazz than if he resigns in Philly. The Jazz need a floor spacing four, and Harris has made 40.5% of his threes over the last 2 years, despite playing for 3 different teams after bouncing around 5 franchises before his 27th birthday. It's time Harris to put down roots in Utah. My last thing is shooting for the stars. Chicago Bulls, Malcolm Brogdon. The Bulls' biggest need in the backcourt, where Chris Dunn hasn't proved himself worthy of a full-time starting job yet. Chicago doesn't have a max shot slot to play some of the top free agent floor generals, but could be very competitive offer to Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon can play both on and off the ball, pushing Dunn from the 6th-man position or starting over him if needed. An extremely efficient scorer who rarely plays out of control, Brogdon is the Bulls' best chance in free agency. Dallas Mavericks, Kristaps Porzingis. While adding a star like Kemba Walker or Chris Middleton free agency, it would be a great Kristaps Porzingis to be the best Mavericks priority. After giving up a package including Dennis Smith Jr., 2 first-round picks, Dallas needs to get Porzingis locked into a long-term deal as soon as possible. Since he's restricted, the Mavericks do have the right to match any offer sheet Porzingis signs. At age 23, we're probably still years away from seeing just how good he can become. Indiana Pacers, Chris Middleton. The Pacers would have quietly put themselves in a great financial shape this summer with some room for a max contract and then some. They should all call many of the top point guards and forwards in an attempt to surround Victor Oladipo and Miles Turner with help. On a reasonable star target, Chris Middleton, if Milwaukee tries to lowball him in contract talks. Indiana could plug Middleton in as the team's starting small forward while looking for the 27-year-old to rebuild on his 18.3 points, 6 rebounds, 4.3 assists from the 2018-19 campaign. Phoenix Suns, D'Angelo Russell. The Suns are close to having a max cap slot and may be able to get D'Angelo Russell for slightly less. The need for the point guard in the desert is clear, and Russell's age and skill set match up nicely with the upside roster and a backcourt of Devin Booker, and Russell could put up 50 points on a nightly basis, and even they might give up a similar number. For Phoenix, Russell is the best free agent under the age of 27, and it's hard to imagine any of the other top point guards, Kyrie Irving, Kemba Walker, will leave a playoff squad or a $221 million supermax contract to play on the Suns team that won 19 games last season. Sacramento Kings, Nikola Vucevic. Bringing back restricted free agent center Willie Cauley-Stein is an option, but Nikola Vucevic would be the far better plug-in in the playoff hopeful Quinn squad. First-time All-Star in 2019, Vucevic boasts a combination of scoring, rebounding, and passing that would open the new playbook for Darren Fox, Marvin Bagley, Buddy Hield, and help raise everyone's game. With the center at the primary position of need, DeMarcus Cousins is probably not an option for Sacramento. Vucevic is the best man the Kings can chase. And finally, superstars or bust. Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's recent change in representation may have tipped off the 2016 champions' free agency plans. Irvin is leaving his agent of 8 years to join the Rock Nation Sports. As soon pointed out, Rock Nation's president Michael Yomick is the twin brother of Nets CEO Brett Yomark. With the dots connecting and the room for 2 max contracts available thanks to a trade with the Atlanta Hawks, the Nets can sign Irvin to a 4-year, $140 million contract and is still to go chasing another star, Los Angeles Clippers' Kawhi Leonard. Perhaps the only part of the United States outside the Bay Area not cheering for the Raptors was the Clippers' front office. While an early playoff exit may have made it easier to convince Kawhi Leonard to come home to California, a title with his current team make recruitment efforts from LA more difficult. Still, there are a few better free agency definitions for the Clippers, given that the young talent, cap space, coaching, and front office living in Los Angeles doesn't seem so bad either. Prying Leonard away from the Raptors may be harder than thought, but the Clippers have the best chance of anyone to get Leonard to leave. Los Angeles Lakers, Kyrie Irving. Although Irvin's future seems destined for Brooklyn, nothing that involves LeBron James is ever really over. James needs to constantly send Irvin highlight clips of their 3 years together, a time highlighted by 3 finals trips and a ring. Both players need each other at least something extremely similar. While it would be a pain that those in Northwest Ohio see a superstar teammates reunited on the Lakers, Irvin should give serious consideration to rejoin James. The Lakers need another star, and Irvin's flash should translate well at Staples. New York Knicks, Kevin Durant. Regardless of when he can play next, the Knicks need to go in all on Kevin Durant. It's been 6 years since the last playoff appearance. One more miserable season? If anything, this allows the Knicks to sign and rehab Durant, retain, develop their young core, and then pursue Anthony Davis in free agency, which they won't anymore. Why not have to give up anything in return of their eager superstar? Durant has always been the best option for the Knicks. Not even a bad Achilles can change that. Philadelphia 76ers, Jimmy Butler. With a massive extension for Ben Simmons looming, this is likely the last time the Sixers will have any sort of cap space with this core. Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, J.J. Redick are temptingly coming off the books, giving Philly over $40 million in its cap space. That's enough to go chasing Durant and Leonard, but re-signing one more on its own is more likely option. If anything, Butler deserves a bigger role for the Sixers and will currently get contract to go along with it. He can sign a 5-year, $190 million max deal with Philadelphia, essentially putting an end to the future cap space. Well, thanks for listening to my show. I'll be back Tuesday, June 18th for another one of my broadcasts. This is Ty Battens signing off. Have a great night, everybody.
Everything's alright. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. Lips as sweet as candy, its taste is on my mind. Girl, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Got a bug from you, girl, but I don't need no cure. I just stay affecting if I can for sure. All the good love when we're all alone. Keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me